guys, Ryan with the Driven Channel. I am here with another weekend review. This time I am in a 2016 Audi A8L. And the L in this car stands for long wheelbase, which means that I am in the chauffeur's seat. And my daughter, Audrey,
hello,
she's riding in the rich guy seat, as I've been calling it. She's enjoying all of the nice luxurious features that this car has to offer. We have the navigation program to go pick up a buddy of mine, and then we're going to go on a little cruise this afternoon, because what better time to go on a cruise than when you just picked up a brand new expensive luxury car. Anyway, I'm going to be getting some more footage of this car doing some funky things, and I'll show you all of my...
yards.
Sorry.
You're going to get on 70.
Didn't mean to interrupt my lovely German-voiced navigation lady. She doesn't sound too much better than the last Audi I
Now turn
reviewed.
right.
But anyway, we're going to go pick up him. We're going to get some more info, basically some more review footage of the inside of this car while I accelerate onto the highway.
Interstate for 5 miles.
Using all 333 supercharged 3-liter horsepower. I'm pulling up behind a Jaguar, so making him feel like a poor guy. Anyway, so we will get some interior shots of this thing. I really can't wait to go over and review the interior of this car, because this thing is absolutely incredible. I haven't really done much with luxury cars because I'm kind of a sports car guy, but I'm already digging this car. So anyway, I'm going to end this right now, and right now we'll go to some footage of the car, and then we'll end the video, like I said, with an interior and just like a general review of how I liked the car, and the things that I appreciated about it, and maybe the things that I thought Audi could do some better work on. So I hope you enjoy this. Alright, one of the things that I like to do whenever I'm reviewing a car is I always use the navigation system, because I'm a big fan of a navigation system that works really cool. And this one, I can already tell you, has some cool features, and I'm actually looking right now at this, picking up my buddy here off of Lake of the Woods, but it's actually showing me the exit that I'm going at, and not only that there's gas services and shelter services, but also it's actually giving me not only the names of the services, but as you can see, it's actually using the actual logos from the companies, which I think is pretty cool. So anyway, also in front of me as a driver, I also have that view as well. And then I don't know if you're going to be able to see this too well, but I do have heads-up display, and it's giving me directions on that as well. So far, top-notch job on the navigation system, Audi, and good job on that. All right, this is our first trunk challenge. I picked the littlest guy possible for this. Zane, get in, buddy.
Oh, this is easy.
I think that's luxurious. I think that you've got the most luxurious trunk challenge.
They should
of
market
course,
this at a
to
seat.
close the trunk, you just push a button. Goodbye, Zane. Is he gonna get out? Is he stuck forever? Is this one designed for gangsters? Ah, okay, no, he's got it. I was worried. Did you have a nap in there?
You can hear the motor like sealing or something.
Oh, it was like...
It's really strange.
Okay,
Hey,
trunk
there's
challenge.
a charger back here. We're good.
We're good. Oh, you got a charger?
driving.
Oh, here, let's look at this. We got...
Boom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
I'm good for
when
hours.
you're stuck in the trunk, you just chill out back here. You can have a nice read, because I believe that's where they keep the nice leather-bound
There's lights everywhere.
notebook with all of the owner's manual stuff.
See, is this
So, you know, you can get out, right?
It's totally fit.
It looked like you were enjoying yourself in there.
I might take the cruise in there.
All right, that was fun. All right.
Yeah, I would love for you to do my car. Just like
Yeah, you know, the fact that we can have a nice conversation about leather while we're going 85 kilometers per hour
there you go.
in this sport luxury sedan. Ah,
Wow, that was the most elegant bump ever.
I know, it was very nice. Okay, that is about the limit of this car's handling ability. The corners, just not feeling these corners.
The oblique, like muscleness love yourself. It's phenomenal.
Could really work on the arm flex there.
Yeah. Because he's a Mustang guy, right? Looking for passers-by on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Then the fact that he does like Ferrari interiors and stuff like that is a huge plus, but it's also a huge downside.
Well, I'm back, and I am going to give my ultimately my thoughts about this car. I have spent the weekend now with this car, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. Right now, I'm sitting in a massaging seat, so I'm really relaxed. It actually it's not just a massaging seat, but it's a massaging seat that's heated and cooled. And I never really thought about this before, but if you run them both at the same time, it's quite an amazing feeling. You get like a cool sensation with like the warming, but then right now I believe I've got it on the wave setting for the massaging seat. And if anybody has not experienced a car with massaging seats before, don't knock it until you've tried it, because I'm a sports car guy to the core, but this car has changed me. I actually really kind of wish that I was in a little bit higher tax class right now so that I could afford to buy this car or something similar, because this car is fantastic. I spent some time out on Route E, which you'll see some footage of earlier in the video, where I was actually keeping it pretty good with a couple of my buddies in sports cars. Zane was in his modified Stage 2 Mark 6 GTI, which is a twisty killer. He was keeping up with me pretty good in my heavily modified Mark 7 GTI, but him and then a guy in a Coyote Mustang were out there playing around. I ended up just kind of letting them go and do their thing so I could enjoy this car a little bit more. It handles, for its size, it handles pretty well. It is all-wheel drive, so when you go through the corners, you really feel the all-wheel drive kind of pulling you around the corner. But the thing that's most amazing about this car is that even when it's in dynamic mode for its suspension, this car handles really, really well. What I meant was when it's in dynamic mode, which is its handling mode, it rides really, really well. But just normally it rides really, really well. I had this thing in comfort mode on the highway. I took it to go see my mom tonight in Ashland, and it rides like, you know, they say like a dream, like you're on a cloud. And until you actually drive a car like this, I think that you don't really get that experience. You say that it rides like it's on a cloud, but you don't know that it does until you actually ride something like this. So I'm going to now go over a few of my favorite features of the car with you with my other camera here. But yeah, this car is simply incredible. Handles well. You know, if I had the money to buy something like this, I can't say that I would buy this exact model. This one is equipped with a 3-liter supercharged engine, which is 333 horsepower. I looked up on the specs of it last night. It runs 0 to 60 in the 5s, and it runs, I think, like a 13.8 second quarter mile, which for a, you know, however much 5,000 pound car is pretty darn good. I can tell you that when it takes off pretty fast. But the 8-speed automatic transmission in this car is absolute butter. You can go 70 plus miles an hour in areas where it's legal to do so, and the RPMs stay super low. It actually gets really good fuel economy whenever you're not super hard on it. So anyway, so I wanted to go over some of the features of the car with you real quick, my favorite stuff, outside of talking about the driving and, you know, my impressions of how the car drives. But it does drive like an Audi, so it's still sporty, even though it's kind of a heavy, you know, it's the biggest Audi that Audi makes as far as cars go. So for it still to say that it drives kind of sporty is actually really nice. The steering feel is good. The steering wheel is beautiful. I love the way I can hold the wheel. It still does have paddle shifters. I didn't use them too much because, you know, I felt like I was chauffeuring my 8-year-old daughter around earlier. But So anyway, I'm going to relax here for a minute in my heated, cooled, and massaging seats. And then I'll get back with you here in just a second with my favorite things about the interior and exterior of this car. Alright, well, I am back. I'm actually, I'm still enjoying the massaging seats, so you guys are just going to have to live with me doing most of this from the seating position, because I don't want to get out of this car. Anyway, so I'm going to give a quick sweep here of the interior so that you can see just how beautiful this car really is, and just how advanced it is as well. I'll move my cell phone here out of the way. So, pretty cool. Still has this thing. The last Audi that I reviewed, I noticed that it had its own separate volume control for the passenger, which I still think is neat. I think that that's kind of cool, especially when you're a car that is almost chauffeur-driven. Now, this, I was kind of wondering what it was, but basically what this does is it selects your radio setting for the first 6 radios. I believe that's all it does. Yeah, so radio 1 through 6, you can see on the screen here, whenever I press that, it shows that. So anyway, it still has this thing right here. The last Audi that I reviewed had this as well, except for I think this is set up a little bit better. It still has the buttons around it so that you can tell it what to do without having to go exclusively through this, which BMW's iDrive is kind of bad about making you only use this and select everything through the knob. So I kind of like it having buttons and knobs, which I think is always better. Right now I am rocking cooled seats and heated seats at the same time. Heated seats in this thing are unbelievably, like, really heavy overload of the heat. So if you're ever feeling really cold, turn the heated seats on one of these bad boys. You'll warm up really quick. Anyway, so as you can see, it has separate temperature controls for the driver and passenger side, and of course up here on the screen it gives you the cool little readout as well, which I think is also neat. Also in the back seat, which I'll show you here in a second, and there's dual zone climate control back there, but I think one of my favorite things to look at while I'm in this car, and the time's off because I haven't reset it, but this clock is absolutely gorgeous. It feels nice, it looks expensive, which when you're in a car like this, that's what you want. So the navigation screen in this I also appreciate, because if you don't want to look at that big thing just glaring at you all the time, you push this button right here, it just goes into the dash and you don't even have to look at it. And then the wood grain is also beautiful, and the aluminum finish on everything is also really nice. So I appreciate all of those things. Sorry about the lighting; it's getting a little bit late here, and I didn't get back in town in time to do this review early enough for good enough sunlight. But also, this thing has the Audi MMI again. Now, my last Audi video, I kind of knocked the Audi MMI system because it did not have Bluetooth. Well, this one has not only Bluetooth media, but it also has the Bluetooth phone as well. So they did fix that with the newer models. I'm not sure which year they actually fixed that with, but the newer models do definitely have that. So I'll go over here to the steering wheel, and you have navigation controls, voice controls, just like in most cars. It took me a while to find this button. This button right here is what locks it into manual mode for the transmission, so that the paddle shifters don't try and go back to automatic, which I didn't know that until after I'd driven this thing for a little while. Volume controls, like on a lot of newer Audis, it's on a knob, not on a button, so you can go up and down with the radio, which, by the way, the radio is absolutely incredible. I believe this one has the Bose audio system. Feels like you're in a concert hall. I mean, I've been bumping this radio all weekend and really been enjoying it. So controls over here basically control what I can see up here, so I can see if I'm you know, listening to a little Bebe Rexha. I think that's how you pronounce it. If not, then somebody can correct me. But you can scroll through, you can see you can see your phone contacts, you can see what you're listening to on the radio, you can see your speed, and then up and down here gives you control over the smaller items as well. Like you can see that I was averaging 19.7 miles per gallon, so that's pretty good. Or is that miles that I've driven? Okay, no, even better. I averaged 24.2 miles per gallon, so which in a big honking car like this is actually excellent. So another thing, it does have LED readouts for fuel, as well as the temperature gauge. It gives you you know, how many miles you have left. All the things that I think you want are right there. So This particular model is equipped, I'm going to open the door here so it's going to yell at me, but this particular model is equipped with the auto LED headlights, which are really nice, as well as the, I'm going to close the door here so that we can actually hear what I'm saying, but as well as the heads-up display, which I'm going to turn the headlights off so that you can maybe see it. There it is. It gives you navigation information as well as you know, your speed readout, which I've always appreciated a good heads-up display, and I don't know why more cars today don't have them. I've actually owned a couple of cars that have, but the windows. Now let's get to the windows. So people don't talk about these things, but when you press the down or up button on these windows, obviously all four are auto up down, but if I press down, there's like a small pause up as well before it actually goes up or down, like it's thinking about what you said, and it's agreeing with the idea to go ahead and do that, which is cool again. This vehicle also is equipped with this little guy right here, which is a blind spot monitor. I think pretty much all new Audis come with that, but it's really cool, especially when you're trying to merge over on the highway and somebody might be in your way. I'm going to turn these headlights on. I'm going to go outside of the car, and then I'm going to show you how bad these headlights look on this car. So let's go on out right now. It's going to beep at me. I'm out in the park right now, so we're going to take a quick look at the car. Understated elegance is all I can say about this car. It is, you know, it doesn't look like anything super spectacular, but you know, when you pull up in it, it has a certain presence that's really nice. But these headlights are not only super bright, I'm actually getting quite a crazy lens flare because of that, but these things, I think that they're some kind of self-adjusting. So when you're going down the road and you go around a turn, you know, I've seen cars with the turning headlights, but I think these actually just adjust themselves. At least that's what that's what my imagination is whenever I'm going down a road. These taillights also absolutely gorgeous. This car has been an absolute treat to drive over this weekend. And this one, I believe, is fairly a base model, being that it has the 3.0 liter engine, and I think the only major option that they put was the standalone option, which is the massaging seat. So whoever bought this car brand new, kudos to you for doing that, because I really appreciate it. Now we're going to get into the back seat. The back seat in this car is what I call the rich guy spot. So right now this front seat is set up for someone who is over 6 foot tall. I am 6 foot 4 inches tall. I still have knee room. And again, the finishes on this car, this wood grain is beautiful. You have dual zone climate control controls back here as well. If I open this up, you can see that there's another center console with a quarter in it, which I think my daughter left here accidentally. So whoever buys this car, you get a free quarter. Heated seat controls for both sides. I believe this one only has heat and not cool. So if you want to buck up for the cooled seats, you can get that as well. But we also have, I believe, light switches right here, which is kind of nice. And another thing that I appreciate is how the lights turn on and off in this car. Whenever you press it, it's sort of like slowly dims out and it slowly brightens up, which is kind of nice. Obviously, if you want to, you know, check your makeup or whatever you want to do, look at yourself in the back seat. You have both of those vanity mirrors as well. Now, what was most impressive is the actual back seat air conditioning in this vehicle. Has vents all the way around. Vents right here, vents under the seats, vents right here, and it blows ice cold back here. I would almost say that the rear AC works at least as good, if not better, than the front AC. But another thing that I think is awesome, and a lot of luxury cars come with this, but I'm not used to it for certain, and that's that if you want some privacy, you press that. Obviously, you get the thing that goes up there. Press it back down, it goes away. Yep, up and down, up and down. Windows go up, windows go down. And then you can double click that. That hides away nice and flush, and then you can roll the window down. But not only that, but you also have sunroof controls as well. So This vehicle has a secondary sunroof for the back passengers, and it has a sunshade that will slowly sort of fade away there. Now this does not completely open, but it does, oops, it does actually vent so that you can, there we go. Sorry, I had to fight with the controls. So that you can get some extra air out of the back windows, or out of the back sunroof. Anyway, so this car, if you've got the money, this car is a fantastic buy. I think that the depreciation of the first year on a car like this is pretty good. You know, if you're going to buy something like this, save a whole bunch of money, buy it pre-owned, and you're going to enjoy yourself quite a bit. So one last thing that I wanted to show everybody that I've always been impressed with in cars, especially this one, is these ambient lights. You know, this is kind of getting blown out a little bit by the camera, but these ambient lights glow just so nicely. And you know what? I just kind of want to get a driver now and have them take me home. Anyway, so I'm going to end the video with that, and hopefully you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next time, guys.